What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. One of the great demands I put on my existence is to operate within the confines of the truth. That means it's very hard to have a meaningful relationship with me unless you come from the place of truth. I absolutely put that demand on everyone in my life, and I don't always get it, which immediately puts the meaningful part of our relationship in jeopardy. Let's first establish the importance of the truth, which is, I think, entirely unnecessarily to even have to say it. But it is clear to me that the way we overlook the importance of the truth throughout the days that we live, throughout every day, every moment of the day, that it has made us such consummate actors, conductor of lies, more so than having practiced living through the context of truth. Many of us are so out of practice and even recognizing what the truth is, even in ourselves, having become so skillful at masquerading it with made-up stories we have told ourselves so many times and told out loud so many times, that it is so to such a frightening degree that we have forgotten what the truth even is, or what role it was meant to play. I can't help but think of a better example than the Gulag, the concentration camps in the Soviet Union, and a story of Solzhenitsyn that JP portrays of his experience. I love the way he puts it. He said when he looked around the camps, the prison, if you know so much about the atrocities of history, the greatest crimes of humanity were committed by the prisoners themselves. It was the prisoners running the prison. And he saw amongst them were a group of people who did not engage in this pathology of the camps. No matter the risk to their lives, they did not join them because they could not beat them. And he realized in watching these people live out their contract with goodness, even under the most horrifying of conditions and pressure, he realized that it was possible that he himself was responsible for his position in the camp. Just considered that at first. And JP acknowledges that this is a dangerous line of argumentation because who wants to be the one who blames the victim for the catastrophe? You have to be very careful if you walk down that road. But Solzhenitsyn was talking about himself, looking at himself, sorting through his life with a fine-tooth comb, all of his memories, what he may have done to contribute, to understand the part that he played that landed him in this position. And what he realized that when he went over his life, just trying to analyze what he may have done to contribute to bringing him to this low, and him being an outspoken communist himself, he realized part of the reason he ended up where he ended up was because he and many others had completely forfeited their relationship with the truth and allowed their society to degenerate into deceit and tyrannical catastrophe. And it was his willingness, one individual, to take a hard look at himself, to straighten himself out through good examples around him, that then produced a book of truths that ultimately led to the unraveling of the very system that imprisoned him. And that truth freed not just him, but a nation of people, and the idea of the communist movement altogether. Now, that may sound like an out-of-touch historical example of why the truth matters. And without me pointing to the contentious topics that exist today that our society is split and diluted over, just do a personal survey and ask yourself, how many so-called truths have you accepted without truly questioning their validity? And then ask yourself, where would that lead? If you and many others around you play into this delusion and try to create a world from the shakiness of its validity, how stable of a ground do you think you really have when it is fundamentally constructed on lies? And it's not up to me to point to the lies in your life or in society. It's up to you to want to discover them and then go discover them and see them. The willingness to see comes first. Although I'm happy to be the agent of truth, it will only trigger your defenses if it comes from anywhere outside of you. This is not about pointing fingers at lies of others, even though at times that is necessary. But even that has to be done skillfully if what you are after is to arrive at the truth. You cannot cut someone with the truth and have them consent for it to go deeper. Honesty without compassion is brutality. You cannot stab someone with the truth and expect them to allow it into their heart. See, the thing about putting the demand on others to operate with the truth is that you first and foremost have to put the demand on yourself to do so. Genuine beginnings only begin from the inside. Genuine truths are already known and must be allowed to surface by removing the weight of lies and obscurity that have mounted on top to support your current existence. You have to be the first one to be able to say that I put the demand of the truth on myself before anyone else. Only then are you owed the truth. Only then can it make any material significant difference in your life without getting swallowed up in your black hole of lies and pretense. And if you hear this and think that white lies are okay, that small lies don't matter, those are the ones that matter the most. They give you an easy way out of actually having to align to reality. I can't tell you how many times I catch people in lies. When you are someone who honors the truth, the entire cosmos bends over backwards to reveal it to you. I cannot tell you how many men I have seen tell simple lies to boost their ego. How much money they are making, how successful they are, about how they have accomplished this or that. Any small infraction that falsely elevates your status is now a step in the ladder that you will not actually feel the need to work to climb. And all your lies point to your work. If you catch yourself telling people about versions of yourself that don't actually exist, you are pointing to the things that you admire, that you wish you actually were. And the problem with telling the lie is it gives you just enough false status that it takes away the need to do the work to earn it. It takes away the frustration, the angst, the desire to close that gap. Because in your made up imaginary world, you have already achieved the thing you wish to be associated with. And the very claim of it takes away half the need for you to even do the work to claim it for real. Because you think people believe you, and that's enough. Your body doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. So if you feed it a bunch of imaginary lies of what you have accomplished, get yourself ready to not accomplish those things. And just because people believe you, you still know you are lying. No matter how many times you have rehearsed it. And every time you do that, rehearse it, practice it, say it out loud, you weaken yourself. You abandon yourself in that weak state. The reason it's important to start with the demand on you first is because you will learn to respect how difficult it is to actually tell the truth, to live it. And though we may desire for our relationships to not be based on lies, it cannot be enforced or policed. It can only be modeled and hopefully mirrored. And even that is a hope. It's not a guarantee, although it is your best bet. If you are deceptive yourself, you have no chance that a person that you are in an interaction with that feels your energy won't feel the same need then to exaggerate their own existence. Lies feed lies. Lies beget more lies. More lies beget miserable lives. There's no such thing as a casual lie. There is nothing casual about lies. It is not a garb, an outfit that you can just put on and put on a different one the next day. The lies you told yesterday, the ones you put on today, they leave a residue. You cannot try on lies. You cannot try on lies without it destabilizing your entire identity. And before you know it, not only does no one really know who you are, even you have forgotten. Michael Mead adds to this, to why this has to be done with you first. He says the change that many of us want and feel like has to happen cannot start on a collective level. It has to start in the movement of the individual soul. And when enough souls go through the energy of healing and transformation, then that begins the effect on the collective. So through you is the portal to salvation for all others. Through you can the process of healing even begin. And only through that you can you even connect to others who are also in the process of healing and transformation. And through that true connection of you, can we heal us. And also the opposite can be true. It is through the individual tendency, the proclivity to accept the lies where the tyranny is fostered. The entire collective state is destroyed. So the next time you open your mouth and tell even a small lie, I hope you consider how not only does it weaken you, keep you ordinary, kill your drive and ambition, but also it pollutes the entire landscape. And you cannot struggle and fail in your corner of the world because others are depending on you to be truthful, to live truthfully. And sometimes that's not just about telling lies. Sometimes keeping the truth is the lie. Sometimes the lie is just the silence. Here's what I try to remind myself daily. Every day, people wake up, they lie to themselves. They even lie to God. What makes you think they won't lie to you? What makes you think that they will tell you the truth? They won't. Not unless they are awakened by countless examples of courageous people who around them are also willing to tell the truth. And even still, if you don't accept that social responsibility aspect of it all, at least accept that you cannot expect from others what you do not at least expect from yourself. And if you want your relationships to be based on lies, good luck. The question then becomes even simpler, involving you and only you. Where are you headed? Because taking the easy way out or telling the truth, those are not merely two different choices. They are different pathways through life. They are utterly different ways of existing. You configure your life every time you speak. Use your words carefully. Love you, family. Stay true always. See you on the next show.